guys ready to go? What's up? Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back to another episode.
Today we have a very special guest. It is Tim Miller.
Can you call me a special guest if I've been here before?
Yeah, would it be extra special or semi-special?
Series regular Tim Miller.
Happy to be back. I own Blur Studio, created Love, Death, and Robots with David Fincher, Secret Level, that's on Amazon, and I directed Deadpool.
Blur has a huge background of doing game cinematics, many of which people would recognize. And that work has informed your anthology series Secret Level on Amazon Prime, which has some incredible CG animated shorts, and we're gonna break them down today.
So Secret Level is super cool. We looked at the Warhammer episode and it really stood out to me. Brilliant.
I think it might be the best thing that Blur's ever done.
Whoa.
Wow.
And you guys have done some pretty cool stuff, so that's saying something.
It is a high bar. Dave Wilson directed it. He is a Warhammer fanboy. Oddly enough, it coincided almost perfectly with a 20-year gap between when we did the Warhammer Dawn of War cinematic, which was like a big one for the studio for a variety of reasons, and was also Dave.
Oh, snap. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
And that was like one of those projects where Relic came to us, and I'm like, what's your schedule like? We have to have it in 4 weeks. And I said, oh man. So we passed. You know, I got the call at 10 a.m. And then at 12, I'm out back eating with the guys, and Dave Wilson and Paul Taylor are huge Warhammer fans. And so I said, oh, guys, you're going to hate me for this, but I had to turn down this Warhammer short. And they're like, you what? Call them back and tell them we'll do it. And I'm like, but it'll be a death march. We don't care. We'll bleed into our keyboard. Take the job. And
wow.
So I called them back, and that's exactly what happened. We bled into our keyboard. And it was like one of the worst burns ever, but we loved it. It was great. We did it in about 3 or 4 weeks.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was insane.
I don't understand how you could have even rendered something like this in 3 weeks, let alone do all the setup and production for it.
And then you get stupid stuff like the Dreadnought there. It's like, you know, one of the other Warhammer fans goes, oh, there's got to be a Dreadnought in it. And I'm like, what? No, come on. Let's just, no, the fans will kill us if we don't put a Dreadnought in there. You know, he modeled a Dreadnought in 3 days. And,
dang. So moving to the Secret Level Warhammer short film, I feel like obviously the quality is stepped up, but also just like the style of this is so cool. It's got such a vibe. I assume you're familiar with Astartes, the series of Warhammer fan films created by Shama Peterson.
Oh yeah. Shama worked on this.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah. He worked in the layout.
How did he get connected with the show?
I think it was Josh. He's got a functional Warhammer full-size helmet on his desk. He said, have you seen this Astartes stuff? And like a lot of things, you know, all the artists in the studio pass around stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I haven't seen it. He sent me a link and I'm like, holy I contacted Shama and said, hey, this is f***ing awesome. This is super cool. Everybody liked him and everybody liked his work, so we needed help with layout.
What exactly is layout? Because I know what like storyboarding is and how you block things, but like how does a layout role like his kind of play into it short?
It's at the beginning of the pipeline. Usually modeling characters and the environments don't exist in any kind of final form. You might have an idea, you might have a concept that you can roughly represent so you understand the geography of the space.
Like previs, kind of like.
Yeah, it is previs. But what's different in our pipeline is that we don't do like a rough layout and then go do motion capture. And we go and do mocap. And most of that is final. And then we build the previs using the final mocap. You get something close to final animation, and then as shots are approved, that animation that was in layout can now continue on down the pipeline. And it's in reasonable shape for the animators.
As an intergalactic commando, I was designed for battle. I fought across 100 worlds and annihilated legions of alien heretics. I always thought once I reached the rank of captain, I'd have it all figured out. But the truth is, it's a lot more responsibility than I was prepared for. That's why I finally tried online therapy with today's sponsor, BetterHelp. It turns out therapy isn't just for when your home planet is being swallowed by a necroworm. A therapist can give you tools and strategies to tackle the challenges you face every day. Just fill out a questionnaire, and in as little as a couple days, you can be matched with the right therapist for you. And if it's not a good fit, you can switch anytime at no extra cost. Online therapy makes scheduling simple, wherever you are in the galaxy. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp can help you get back in the fight. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/corridorcrew to get 10% off your first month. Now let's get back to the episode, soldier.
The phosphorescent blood that's glowing
Might be
blue.
my favorite shot ever.
When that scene starts, I just remember watching this episode being like, wait, what? This is so cool.
And the fact that it's a oneer and the rhythm of it, like fire, 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 then they stop, then they start to move on here. I believe that it takes a village to do all of this. So I'm not going to say nobody else helped him, but Dave is the mastermind. He's brilliant.
We made our own like little fan films, and we had a little experience talking with like, I guess, game companies, but you guys are creating these multi-million-dollar show. You're trying to like do the best you can with the IP and the characters in the world. How does that relationship work?
For so many years, we've done game cinematics, and we know how people feel about their IP, and we treat it with respect. And we know the Games Workshop guys really well because we worked with them many times over the years, and the first thing we do is talk to them about what they want. We also know that Warhammer fans are particularly picky about, what kind of badges the Space Marines have and what's on the armor. They know their material better than we ever can, so we try and do the best we can, but we're always looking for input from them. The way we start all of the secret level shorts is we build a big deck with the IP holder of like do's and don'ts. This is what you can do for the IP, this is what you don't do. These are likely story avenues to explore, and these are the ones to stay away from. We don't get to do whatever the we want, except with the nostalgia ones. Mega Man was a nostalgia episode. Pac-Man was a nostalgia episode. They were just shorter.
I love the Unreal Tournament episode. What was the process behind it?
The guys at Epic, I said, hey, you want to be in Secret Level? And he said, yeah, we'll do Unreal Tournament, but only if you build an Unreal pipeline at Blur. All the layout, all the animation, everything on Unreal.
Dang.
Which was a painful decision. We don't have a lot of money. We put all the money up on the screen, so it's a lot of work to do a pipeline.
Because it's a game engine, there's definitely lots of limitations compared to normal software. So you have to constantly pipe in assets that you're creating elsewhere, kind of get it all to work together.
I'm still just kind of amazed that all the animation was done inside Unreal, because I always kind of assumed, especially for cinematic shorts, that the animation is always done elsewhere, the rigging and all that stuff, where you have more control over the animation. And then it gets brought in and played in Unreal.
I think that's often the case, but they're improving their animation system, and they want it to be that way. I think it's getting there, and you just can't beat the feedback of it all.
Unreal Engine can save a ton of time because it literally runs in real time. And I mean, we've experienced that with our projects. I mean, we did 2 seasons of our show, Son of a Dungeon, which wouldn't have been possible without Unreal Engine. There was so much visual effects work.
As a director, how much things cost really impact what you can do creatively, because everybody has a shot budget, everybody has a character budget, everybody has to make trims to the story to sort of fit it in all those things. So anywhere you can save time just means you can have more story.
It's really incredible. I've done shorts in Unreal. Like the hardest thing is to cross that threshold from like the real-time quality to this cinematic quality, like getting that super clean image, because like the lighting is there, like the animation is there. It's incredible.
We just have excellent lighters. 2 French artists, Matthias and JB, did this together, and it just turned out super well.
So there are a bunch of different animation studios lending their creative voices to these secret level episodes.
Blur, even though it's our show, we can't afford to do more than a couple.
How are the creative decisions made for which studio gets which project? Like, does it come down to like, you know what, this story idea would really fit the aesthetic of that studio?
Yes, but they're all our friends too, like the Dungeons and Dragons episode. Maxime, the head dude at Unit, he's a huge D&D fan, so. And part of it is selfish. Like when you know that the head of the studio is a D&D fan and this is the episode he's waited his whole career to do, you're not going to get the, oh yeah, I'm sorry, we can't, we didn't have enough money to, or we ran out of time or whatever, right? They're going to do whatever they can to make it awesome, which they did. It's a lead-off episode for the series, and it looks amazing.
Isn't there a huge dragon in this episode?
That's a whole lot of dragon.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tiamat, which was the thing. When I talk about working with the IP holders, that was the thing. All of our story permutations backed into that.
Was there a specific episode that you felt was particularly special but underappreciated?
We got a lot of for the Concord episode, which was
Was
like
that on
weird.
you guys, or was that on Concord collapsing?
A little bit of both. Why the did they put Concord in instead of so-and-so when the game, doesn't even come out? We've been working on this for 3 years.
It doesn't just come out of nowhere.
It doesn't just we didn't wait for the game to collapse and then decide to do a cinematic. I thought the episode was really cool. I liked the character design and the team, the game team, they put their heart into it. They were really excited about it. They wanted to make something great.
Where do you get the stories for these episodes?
I really love the process of Love, Death, and Robots, which is I read a lot, so I get to find all these stories, and they just exist already. So I wanted to create as much as we could a similar process. So we built relationships with all these novelists and short story writers. To me, they're like rock stars. So when we built those big decks that I mentioned about the game, we would hand those to a group of writers, sometimes 5 or 10, pay them to pitch us ideas. Okay. And the winning idea, which could be a paragraph or a sentence or a page, we would pay them to write a prose version of the story, 5 to 20 pages, and then we would adapt that to a script. And it just allowed us to get, a lot more variety, a lot more voices, a lot more options instead of just going to one person and having them do the story and hoping it works.
Skivolda, you silly horse whelp. An army does not make a king. A king makes an army.
Was it fun working with Arnold again?
Oh, it was great. He's really funny. And that guy on the left there, an actor named Stephen Pacey, who reads the books that I'm hopefully one day adapting, he had such a good time. He'd never done motion capture before. Mad crush on him because I've listened to the books 12 times all the way through.
Huh. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Gabe Luna, who is the evil Terminator in my Terminator movie, is the Persian king here.
Oh, snap. Okay.
We thought it was good that the two of them come together.
Checkmate. Damn it.
It's amazing. The characters are...
The characters, it's incredible.
so good.
The facial animation, just the skin,
I feel like the first time I saw the studio's work was Beyond the Aquila Rift. I just distinctly remember thinking, these are some of the most realistic character renders I've ever seen. This episode I thought was pretty dope. How did Keanu Reeves get involved in this?
He came to talk to me about a movie that I couldn't do. I'm sitting out back at Blur talking to Keanu, and I said, "You want to be in Secret Level?" He's like, "Yeah." And so I text Dave and I go, "Hey, I'm talking to Keanu Reeves, and he wants to be in Secret Level. Do we have any roles?" And Dave's like, "Yeah, that's not funny, man." And I'm like, "No, really." He's sitting here, and he's like, "Dude, it's not funny." Hypothetically, if Keanu Reeves were sitting here, what role would you want him to play? The junkie mech pilot in Armored Core. So then I filmed him and I sent it to Dave. That's fun. And Keanu Reeves like, junkie mech pilot. Yeah.
But I remember hearing stories about how Keanu broken his leg or something like that.
Yeah, he had a cracked kneecap. And so it was funny because Dave, he got a call from Keanu and he said, "Hey, I got some bad news. I cracked my knee. It's in a brace." And Dave thought he was gonna say I can't do the mocap session, but he said, "So I can only stand up for 5 minutes at a time, and then maybe I got to take a little break." And that's what he did, and he ended up pushing. And we had 2 days of mocap scheduled, but he's like, "Let's just keep going." So he did it for 13 hours. He's a f***ing machine.
My God.
No complaining, no, just there and ready.
I'm just everything is getting to such a high level of fidelity across the board that it's simultaneously super inspiring to watch a show like Secret Level, but also just kind of depressing. It's dang, it's so good. How can I possibly make anything this good?
If it makes you feel any better, I just feel lucky all the time.
Sure.
With Secret Level specifically, we spent a large part of our career doing game adaptations, working with Ubisoft or EA and basically making sanctioned fan films that exist in this weird space that's not quite the official movie, or it's not quite officially part of a game trailer either. All the stuff done for Secret Level is really, really satisfying because it's done on such a higher level than we've ever been able to do. And I don't know, it's just super cool. It's really turned out well.
Thank you. We love the industry and we love telling these stories.
There's one last thing I want to get your take on here. I'm curious to hear your take on the GTA 6 trailer. This is all supposedly running in-engine in real time, and I don't know how that's possible.
Now you know why they delayed the release of the game. That looks amazing.
And again, it's supposedly this is running in-engine on a console in real time.
I don't know that it ran in real time. I bet it takes like, a second and a half per frame.
That feels real time though.
Well, yeah, because it's probably using path tracing and a lot of the more advanced features. You can get it to go real time. You just turn off some effects, so you can just watch it at the press of a button. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen this, but there's a few things that I do see that definitely stand out. I think it comes down to characters in cloth, like overall character body animation, and then the cloth simulation.
I see it in the hands all the time. The fact that they're doing it in real time is insane. That's where you go, okay, yeah, I noticed a difference, but the fact that it's so close and it's going to get there, it just keeps getting better and better. I'm not going to critique them in case they want to do a secret level episode.
Tim, thank you so much for coming onto the show again. I really enjoyed watching through some of these episodes with you, and having some of that insight into how this stuff gets made always makes me happy.
It's my pleasure. I am happy to spout bull for anybody who will listen, and you guys did an excellent job of listening. Thank you.
Is there going to be a season 2 of Secret Level?
Yeah, that's already been announced. You really didn't prepare for this interview.